Our story begins in the quiet town of Nestville, nestled in the heart of a sprawling valley, its inhabitants unsuspecting of the strange events about to unfold. Nestville was the kind of place where everyone knew everyone, and life moved at a comfortable, predictable pace. But one night, everything changed. There was a bright light, a streak across the sky that lit up the town. Some called it a shooting star, some a flare. But little did they know, it was the beginning of an otherworldly invasion. The light was a spaceship, an alien spacecraft, crash landing on the outskirts of the town. Out of it emerged a creature, an alien named Zara. Zara was no ordinary extraterrestrial. She had a unique ability, one that would change the fate of Nestville and the world. She could disguise herself as a human. With a shimmering flash of light, Zara transformed, assuming the appearance of a human. To the unsuspecting eye, she was just another person. But beneath the disguise, she had a plan to gain control of the Earth. Over the next few days, Zara began her mission, infiltrating the town of Nestville. She mimicked human behavior perfectly. Their customs, their language, their daily routines. No one suspected a thing. They had no idea that an alien walked among them, let alone one planning to take over the Earth. And so, with each passing day, Zara moved one step closer to her goal. She studied, she observed, she learned, all while waiting for the perfect moment to reveal her true intentions. But as she spent time in Nestville, Zara began to witness the depth of human emotion and kindness. She saw people help each other, care for each other, love each other. It was something she had never witnessed in her own world. It was moving. And just when Zara was about to execute her plan, something unexpected happened. She began to question her mission. Should she go on with her plan to take over Earth? Or was there another way? Zara's heart pounded in her chest as the holographic image of her superiors hovered in front of her. Their stern faces and piercing gazes made her even more nervous. They demanded she continue with the invasion. "Zara, you must fulfill your mission," the leader of her race insisted. The message was clear, and Zara knew she was trapped between two worlds. Her home planet and Earth, a place she was growing to love. Meanwhile, the quiet town of Nestville was beginning to stir. Detective Adams, a seasoned investigator with a keen sense for the unusual, started to notice the strange occurrences around town. People were acting out of character. There were odd lights in the sky. And the newest resident, Zara, seemed to be in the center of it all. Adams decided to dig a little deeper. He started with Zara. Who was she? Where did she come from? What was her connection to the recent anomalies? But as he delved into his investigation, he had no idea that the answers to his questions were far beyond his wildest imaginations. As Zara battled her own internal conflicts, she remained oblivious to the brewing storm around her. As Adams came closer to discovering Zara's secret, she grew increasingly anxious. Her alien race was counting on her to fulfill the mission. But she also felt a growing attachment to Earth and its inhabitants. Eventually, Zara decided to take a risk. She invited Adams for a chat at the local coffee shop. Adams, surprised but eager to learn more about the mysterious newcomer, agreed. In the cozy ambiance of the coffee shop, Zara looked Adams in the eyes. "Detective, there's something I need to tell you," she began, her voice steady despite the racing heartbeat. "I'm not from around here," she continued, trying to gauge his reaction. To her surprise, Adams didn't laugh or ridicule her. Instead, his gaze hardened. He had suspected as much. Detective Adams, taking a deep breath, looked at Zara. He saw sincerity in her eyes and decided to trust her. After all, she had risked her mission by revealing herself. "Zara, let's say I believe you," he said, his voice filled with a mix of incredulity and respect. "What now? What does this mean for Earth?" Zara sighed, relieved. She told him about her mission, to establish a harmonious coexistence between her kind and humans. But the leadership of her species was becoming impatient. "I need your help," she admitted. "To show my leaders that we can coexist. That humans aren't a threat but potential allies." Together, Adams and Zara formed a plan. They knew the truth could cause panic, yet it needed to be shared. Zara, hesitant at first, agreed to reveal herself to Nestville. Nervously, they gathered the town at the community hall. Adams took the stage, clearing his throat. He began to tell the unbelievable tale. He described the world beyond Earth, Zara's mission, and her kind's intentions. The crowd gasped, skeptical eyes wide with disbelief. But then, Zara stepped forward. Slowly, she shifted into her true form. The crowd fell silent, watching as a beautiful alien being stood before them. Zara's voice rang out calm and steady, filled with the promise of peace. Nestville became a town on edge. Half the residents supported Zara, while the rest rejected her. Adams, along with Zara, knew they had to unite their town. They began holding public meetings, open to questions and concerns. Zara stood by her promises of peace, her soft yet firm voice soothing fears. Slowly, minds started to change. Even those who initially met Zara with suspicion began to see her intentions were pure. Yet, a small group remained adamant, causing unrest. Adams and Zara decided to confront this group, hoping a direct conversation would ease their fears. The meeting was intense, emotions ran high. Adams and Zara, steadfast, tried to address the fears. Suddenly, a thunderous sound echoed through Nestville. People gasped as a meteor, bright and fiery, hurtled towards the town. But just as panic started, Zara raised her hand. A shield, shimmering with energy, sprouted from the ground, protecting Nestville. The meteor harmlessly disintegrated against Zara's shield. The town's residents stared in awe, their skepticism melting away. Zara's power had saved their lives. Slowly, those who had vehemently opposed Zara came forward. "We were wrong," they admitted, their eyes softening with gratitude. It was a moment of reconciliation, a turning point for Nestville. The celebration was lively, the air buzzed with joy. Unity had finally found Nestville. Adams watched the revelry, his heart full. He saw Zara, gazing at the stars, a smile playing on her lips. "I did it, didn't I?" Zara whispered, her eyes sparkling with accomplishment. Adams nodded, his voice choked with emotion. "Yes, you did. You brought peace." They stood there, under the starlit sky, reminiscing their journey. They remembered the fear, the doubts, and the triumphs. It was a beautiful ending to an adventure that reshaped their world. As the celebration continued, Adams and Zara looked forward to a peaceful future. A future where humans and aliens could coexist, understanding each other better. The story of Nestville served as a beacon of hope for a better tomorrow.